All right. So it seems like I'm doing all the intros this week, which I'm quite happy with. We're
Peter
talking
Caved.
about kind of a basic article from, I think it was Investopedia.
Yep.
Basically, everything's in the title. It says that more people want to work from home and employers don't like it, which is like film at 11,
Classic.
you know, of course. Yeah. But actually, we kind of get into some good points about what the future is for, you know, the downfall of the real estate business, the future of the city metropolises or metropoli or metropolises. Metropolisi. What is that? Tell us down below. Yeah, so enjoy the episode. Like and subscribe.
I cannot wait to get into this story.
Fuck.
I met John was getting riled up at the end of yesterday's episode that we just recorded. We just do these back to back. So I'm hoping that same energy really just keeps rolling into this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is from Investopedia. Remote work is here to stay, and employers aren't happy about it.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Oh, God, this makes me mad! Jesus Christ! Oh, God, I'm so mad right now.
God, there we go.
Nice,
Like,
Peter.
We've seen this headline like 1,000 times.
1,000 times, yeah.
Yeah.
How many
It's a
more
really shitty
times?
article. I suggested this and I voted for it, but honestly, everything you need to know about it is in the headline there. They did a survey. People want to work from home. Employers don't
Yeah,
like it.
I'm sure they want to work from home. We love working from home.
So
Like, are you serious?
the reason
we can be in our pajamas.
the reason I put it in the rundown, there's nothing about this article that we haven't read 1,000 times.
Sure.
It's about, they're concerned about productivity, they're concerned about supervision, they're concerned about culture, they're concerned about blah, 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 whatever. We've already had that discussion many times. The reason I put it in is because I saw a video yesterday that wasn't by employers, it was by investors, like financial wizards, something, whatever. And they were talking about the U.S. economy and what a large part of the U.S. economy is tied up in commercial real estate.
Yep.
And what stood out to me is this asshole kept talking about how people don't want to go back to work. And he was equating, and they're lazy and they don't understand. They don't want to go back to work. And it's not that people don't want to go back to work. They want to work. They just don't want to work in an office. And he was conflating those two issues so much because to his mind, it was just like, oh, what's wrong with people? Why are they lazy? Why don't they want to go back to work? Like, no, dumbass, that's not the fucking issue. However,
But he knows that. Of course he's... yeah, go on.
Commercial, the collapse of the commercial real estate market is a concern.
Yeah.
Not a reason why I shouldn't be able to work from home, but
No, not my problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it will
kind of
become
is.
all of our problems. Yeah, it'll become all of our problems very soon.
Right.
But I mean, and the worst part is the worst part is they have really just two terrible options, right?
Yeah.
Two really bad options.
Yeah.
These commercial real estate moguls, right? These guys are fucking titans. They're worth hundreds of millions, maybe billions of dollars.
Economy.
So here's the problem. Here's a big problem. A lot of people who are like, you know, work reform and like anti-work, who all want to work from home, but they might not think about. And the problem is that there's a ticking time bomb on all of these loans that these titans have taken and to build all of this infrastructure for offices. And all of these companies have left these offices since COVID. And a lot of them have either expired their leases or they are letting them expire. And soon, very soon, the bill is going to become like due. And if these big boys, these big titans can't figure out a solution, well, then like something really bad might happen because they have two options: lobby companies and VCs and like other forms of investors to get workers back, like what Amazon is doing, right, in Seattle, which is all over the news. They are constantly talking about like, oh, the city is a ghost town without our 200,000 employees who would need to come back to the office. Zoom just did the same thing. And the other option is to go to the city or the state and say, hey, we need to convert like 300,000 worth of square footage into apartments. into like a different zoning, like a different zone, like to be able to, because in America, the way zoning laws work is really fucked up. Like it's kind of hard to turn a like commercial zone into a residential zone. So, and a residential zone can sometimes also be totally messed up if it's like a single home zone versus like multi-home zone. Like, so, and it's actually really messed up because they're kind of out of options, like these big boys, these big guys. So,
And
yeah.
the issue is they've already failed. Like it's done. Yeah. They're dead. And like already, they just haven't fallen over yet.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch from abroad.
Will it though?
No,
I mean, the same thing is happening over there, right? The same thing is happening all over the world. Like,
yeah, it's scary.
Your common man has tasted freedom, and one wants to go back to the office.
So I was thinking about this recently about what I would do for like my sister and her my brother-in-law. They've invested in property for their kind of retirement fund. He's a contractor and they don't have a pensions, apart from the state pension and stuff like that. So they've kind of got some properties that they're renting out, and that's their retirement fund. And I was talking to them about investing in real estate, and it occurred to me that the best kind of real estate to invest in at the moment would be very different to what it was like 20 years ago. So you want something that not necessarily close to like public transport or anything or infrastructure like that. You would want something that's close to parks and close to like a decent supermarket or mall that is like you don't have to drive to it, or and something that is wired to the teeth. So like, I don't know, cat sticks running through every possible surface, decent Wi-Fi routers and really good, like that's the kind of like modern home that I think you could actually scale it down, so you just have a 1-person or 2-person like units, just basically somewhere that's designed for a work from home person.
Yeah,
like doesn't necessarily drive, doesn't necessarily, maybe like with a gym nearby as well, that kind of thing. So I think you can still make a lot of money from real estate, but just do it differently. And obviously the people with billions tied up already are kind of fucked, but hey.
To John's point about rezoning, like it's even more complicated than that, because the only reason you need residential property in cities is for all the people who are working in cities. And if what you're rezoning is a commercial empty commercial property, because all those people are working up from home, people who work from home also don't need residential property either.
Well, if you turned a massive office block into a ton of apartments, you could actually get people back into the central parts of a city.
Why would you move back into a city if not to work there?
Well, to live there.
But why would you live there if you didn't have to work there?
Why not live in a cheaper suburb?
Yeah.
If it was cheap, it seems like the suburbs, I don't know what it's like in America, but it seems like the suburbs are getting more expensive and the city centers are getting...
Yeah. COVID caused for sure a like super spike in home prices in suburbs and like small towns, like in single family homes, basically. But like the solution to the home crisis, which is very real and is currently occurring, right? Like I can go buy a home. It is not financially responsible of me to go buy a home right now because of the current interest rates that the banks want. They want like 6 to 7% interest. No, it's not financially viable currently. So because we're in this crisis, like, what do you suppose? Are you gonna go live in a city where, I just did this yesterday with a friend. I showed them San Francisco in Google Street View 2022. 2023 is even worse. But the latest one that Google had was 2022. It was closing sale, closure, over and over and over again. Every street just had these huge stores and restaurants, and everything was closed. And that is what's happening to these big metropolis.
Yeah.
It says metropoli.
Well, fun story. Let us know what you think the solution is down below in the comments. Like and subscribe.